Welcome into another edition of XFeed. Today is Monday, May 6th, 2024. We got news about Coin Dow. Apparently they're trying to spend millions to speak at some conferences. Why are DAOs the way that they are? Somebody said NFTs are the platypuses of the digital world. What in the absolute halibut does that mean? Talking about somebody who almost got scammed, got their entire business taken. And to know, is it actually true? When you look, try to go around the world, is Bitcoin being adopted? Is it something that you could even use? Or is it all just hype and speculation? Talking about Futureverse a little bit, Alluvium, some different Web3 games as per usual, and somebody losing 70 million, and somebody else trying to claim that it was them and getting donations. And then getting noted on X. Holy guacamole. Things are getting spicy. If you guys are excited for today's stream, please smash that like button. Maybe share it with a friend. Let's get into it. Holy sweet smokes. Okay, first story of the day. We've talked about it a fair little bit, but let's, give credit where credit's due. Artifact, after having some delays back and forth, they are having their incubation lab opening on May 7th, which is tomorrow, and checking out their site here. We have looked at it before. I think it is kind of neat. Like, some of these sites do look pretty sweet. I'd say the Seeker site as well looks pretty nice, but I don't think it's any different than what it was previously, but these are some of the Animus characters. Again, a lot of collections out there trying to go the Avatar-esque route. This for Alluvium, let's get the Pokemon type feel, you know what I mean? The Pokemon Digimons of the world. Yeah, you're having a bad day, but at least you didn't accidentally send 68 million worth of Bitcoin to the wrong address. So this is a true story that happened over the weekend, and this person made an entire thread saying how I lost almost $70 million due to address poisoning. And it says almost, the person did actually end up losing it, and they go on like this huge trail of breaking down what happened, and you go through it, and then there's like, hey, here's a donation link, and you check out other tweets, and it doesn't add up for anybody with that amount of wealth. And as you can see here, the community note, this user who claims to be a victim might actually be impersonating the genuine victim. However, they have yet to provide evidence confirming ownership of the wallet. And so you might ask, how the hell does that happen? Address poisoning, I'm not really sure how the wallet creation works, but it sounds like if you have or if you're able to create a wallet and it's close enough to another wallet, or just one in general, in terms of like the digits on it, people go into Etherscan instead of like just using their MetaMask dropdown, or sorry, whatever wallet they end up using, and somebody sends these small transactions, and so the latest transaction, they just copy that wallet and post it in, and that's what they call is like address poisoning. And that seems to be the case of what happened within this. But holy mother of smokers, $70 million in Bitcoin lost. Now, Coin Dow has a partnership that they announced with BWT Alpine F1 team. Today, we announced a multi-year partnership launching ApeCoin into Alpine's F1's ecosystem, uniting token holders worldwide. Saw a ton of people posting about the races on the weekend, and curious to see how many other tokens end up getting on different race cars out there, but cool to see for Coin Dow. Now, Paul Barron Network is somebody who I watch like rather regularly, and I have no idea what's going on, but this guy is shilling my bags all the time. He has been talking about Futureverse, Root Network, and whatnot a fair amount as of late, and within his recent episode, he was highlighting how there might be a partnership with MetaQuest, some different things within Futureverse is getting on VR, etc., etc., but here's what he had to say to finish off the show that we just highlighted.
Often wrong about crypto, though, I will say that. In many cases. But hey, listen, when it comes to securities, tech stocks, I think he has been around, even though he kind of missed.
He's talking about Jim Cramer here.
He's trying to correct that.
But he gets
so
into
what's the crypto play here? What is the potential? Well, if you look at Root Network and the potential, this of course is diving into the XRP ecosystem, what the future of Futureverse will be. Root Network is the place, the play. And of course, it's been way down. And of course, this is an opportunity that may start to see the light of day as we start to see the markets correct. So this could be one to watch. make sure and take a look there. Of course, we'll take
That's so insane, guys. People are showing my bags out there. Unbelievable. All right, so here's some takes from some of the different Web3 games. And Jonah's saying already low marks for Wilder World. It's taken me 3 days to get the codes working. Now I start the game and it doesn't load at all. I had issues with the recent other side trip. I mean, it's everyone's gonna have different issues. I play League of Legends a lot, and they updated this like anti-cheat, and apparently it's bricked people's computers, and it's been all over the place. So I expect to see more things as of this, but interesting that Jonah was having some issues with Wilder World. In this one, we got some little bit of FUD here for Illuvium. Disappointed I have no access to Illuvium private beta play to airdrop at the start. I own Illuvium, land, Illuvitars, and blueprints. I played Zero to Grind, 2 sets of blueprints and lots of Overworld when it first launched, supported in the depth of the bear. Please do better. Kind of insane that if you do have a bunch of the NFTs, especially the land, the avatars, on top of the token, which, I mean, the token's kind of like 50-50, right? Like the NFTs are supposed to grant you that specific access. So that's kind of a tough look here, but Web3 gaming, holy smokes. General comments on the market here from Shilbet Wallenstein. I sold 3 of these airdrops last month for $10,000. Some told me I made the wrong choice. The airdrops are worth $73 today. Holy smokes. The market's been up and down for some of these things like crazy. There's a new proposal in the Monkey DAO, which is on Solana, I'm guessing, for exclusive to Solana monkey business. And they just said they want to sweep 1,000 Sol worth of D-Gods. Within this, it says, show Frank DeGod a warm welcome back to Sol and sweep D-Gods using Treasury. Allocate 1K Sol to sweep D-Gods. Support builders on Sol and ensure exposure to D-Gods. I mean, I don't know if there's really anything else to say with this. It's always interesting that it seems like these DAO proposals always have like a, hey, let's sweep the floor thing. And I think that's like maybe good to a point, but at the same time, if farmers know like a sweep's coming in, that's I don't think you want to have those things announced, if you know what I mean. Okay, so genies. What the hell is going on with genies? We had some FUD the other day, but we got to double down on it because it sounds like things are not going great. If you don't know what genies are, it was an avatar protocol, maybe not protocol per se, but experience. An avatar technology company, developers, artists, creatives. They had some massive names for this. This is one of the big players on Flow early on. And here's what they had to say. As we continue to build and as the space evolves, we learn that although those involved in the Web3 space in our community have a thorough understanding of the value blockchain brings to our ecosystem, the rest of the world isn't there yet. To ensure we deliver the vision that made our early NFTs so desirable, our first and primary focus is making sure Genie's Party and our toolkit gain mass adoption through culture and Gen Z. Therefore, we are prioritizing the features that will help grow the platform and avatar use cases first and foremost in order to provide value for all of our users' avatars. As it stands right now, we are not prioritizing authentication of blockchain and a roadmap for Genie's Party, but as we deliver on the features and tools that our users are demanding, the assets in our ecosystem will only continue to gain more value. What the hell does that mean? So are they like out here? And this is they're quote tweeting this, and the previous mention is, again, if anyone is interested in accessing their digital wearable files from your purchased NFTs, please reach out to support. Yeah, so some FUD there, some FUD here. It doesn't sound like things are going great, but very interesting that somebody's trying to take a step back from the blockchain space after, again, touting, hey, we're for that initially. It's tough. Luke and Nets here, founder of Pudgy Penguins. Up until this point, crypto adoption or lack of adoption has been predicated on the price appreciation or depreciation of crypto assets. For us to reach the next level, this will ultimately have to change. This industry is greater than yesterday's price. I agree. I've been saying this for like a long time. I think that there's absolutely going to be a massive price appreciation for things that are advancing the technology, the protocol, things that are really building something magnificent. But at the same time, like you talk to anybody, it's like, hey, do you want to get these things? Then it's all based on, am I going to make money buying it? It's not, yeah, I want this. And is that the fault of the people that are creating the bigger IPs kind of afraid to go into the space because of that? I do agree with the sentiment overall. Big shifts and change shall happen. Quick little highlight of some My Pet Hooligan gameplay here. I'm just going to highlight some different games. I bookmark things I see on my timeline for like just the sake of showing so you guys can see what some of these different games look like. You've probably seen it on your timeline, but there's a little bit of My Pet Hooligan. Now, Swoosh, the other day, if you played one of their games, you had the opportunity to purchase a very limited edition 404 error shoe here, and this is what they look like. I like shoes. It does feel kind of retro with this one. Very, very interesting look. Don't really have anything extra to say on top of that, but kind of cool that a physical component is there. Faraway. So Faraway adopted or acquired some of Yuga Labs gaming assets, and they held a Spaces the other day. And here's a quick little recap, which has caused some very interesting reactions across the timeline. Let's get right into it. Here are the things that matter to us: interoperability, transparency, and good games. Our focus is around creating fun, social, and interoperable experiences. We believe the assets you own should be playable in as many places as possible. This includes first-party experiences as well as third-party partner experiences. Interoperability equals demand. Which is funny, this is like the conversation now, because we say like interoperability equals demand. But like if I'm playing League of Legends and then I'm like, hey, I want to go into RuneScape, like that would never happen. And you know what I mean? So it feels like a very like Web3 thing for the aspect of interoperability, but I guess it's just everything is being built on top of layers, where it is designed and intended to be interoperable from minute one. We are in Discord constantly if you have questions, yada yada. Good games. Our entire focus is on making games, and this level of focus is why we believe we are the best stewards for Legend of the Mara and Heavy Metal. While we don't make AAA games ourselves, we would love to partner with experienced AAA studios that incorporate the Heavy Metal and Legends of the Mara brands. Again, all this stuff is weird to me, because for like a AAA studio to be like, hey, yes, let's build on Heavy Metal and Legends of the Mara, you would have to like see that it's a very successful IP to build on and that you're going to acquire players from it. I don't think there's really anybody outside of the Yuga system that cares. And I mean, even in the Yuga system, people might not be all over it, right? And so how do you get the outside crowd to want to be a part of that? Degen versus free-to-play games. There will be dedicated Degen experiences as well as mass market experiences designed to expand awareness. Degen experience will be browser PC first. Mass market experience will be mobile first. So the question out of this is, for mobile first, how many different Web3 collections or companies are building mobile games? Maybe they're the only ones that may reach mass adoption. And Harry Swan, good morning, sir. Perfect timing as we're getting into meme coins here. So Jay's talking about Nick. Choose Rich Nick. We can go into the story if any of you guys don't know, but he's saying study conviction, study degeneracy. I believe that Nick, the main character, will resurface again. Another viral video will hit, and Nick will be the most hated rally due to how long it sat on the lows. Choose Rich. Okay, so quick TLDR on this is Nick is a person who has a show within Web3 called Nifty Portal, or that's the NFT collection. No, the Nifty. Anywho, he did some different videos, and he's gone relatively viral for doing this like persona of Choose Rich. And so there was a meme coin that was created where you can see here, it says like, I choose Rich, and the tag was Nick. And then there was another one that was also created around the same time, and it was the ticker of Rich. And so it was a little bit confusing. He did some different videos. I think that he's very likely to have another like viral moment over some video, but I don't know if it's going to relate exactly to the token, because I remember when there was two of them, it got kind of confusing, and I was like, I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be weird. But again, the different narratives that we'll see out there, which we'll kind of touch on more here, as we can see Real Dr. Wookie, who I run a Gala node, and he was one of the people that I watched their YouTube videos for, and it was like super, super insightful. And he's saying, is this the first meme coin related to Gala in terms of Gala games, which is another big ecosystem like Yuga, Futureverse, etc. Bodyon-based pre-launches today. Some folks going to get lucky at getting that whitelist sale of the token. And it's just, okay, so we go from one meme coin to the next meme coin, and we have like all these narratives around things. And I think definitely there's going to be a lot that do well, but my biggest fear is people spending their capital from like their quote unquote conviction plays that we're told to like hold on to. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting to a point where this stuff is either going to work or it's like flat out not. Illuvium apparently, the IMX Passport apparently has 800,000 signups for that. So if we're talking about mass adoption, all that crazy stuff, we'll get more into it in a second. Magic Treehouse. Do you guys remember this? This was like a book series that I read as a kid. And this was posted on the nostalgia folder X handle. And damn, what a throwback. All right, from Planet X here, founder Ghost, I actually think we've created some of the best looking maps in mobile gaming. The hunts for IRL prizes are going to be wild. So here's a Planet X gameplay. Again, it's just a screenshot, but just, kind of got to think, hey, does this look like a game that I would be interested in? Does it look like a game that others would be interested in? Are these going to be fun? Cool little photo here from a whole bunch of the different Bored Apes. It's funny, after being in the space for like 3-ish years, there's like a lot of these that I actually recognize because people rock them as their avatar. Does feel like X is kind of a Web3 game of its own, but really, really cool to see the mass amount of recognizable people from my POV within that photo. Okay, so we're going to get into this George Gammon thing, but he is going around Argentina right now and trying to use Bitcoin to pay for different things because apparently Argentina is starting to get more adoption or more conversations around there with the inflation of the pesos, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll get more into that in just a moment. But before that, OpenAI.eth just sold for 15 wrapped Ethereum, 46,000 US dollars. What is going on? Are ENS names back? Are people wanting that flex? Is Ethereum the mainstay? What is going on? You've probably seen the virality of Tom Brady on that roast last night, and sorry, Pepper's having a fit in the other room right now. If that's really bothering you guys, let me know in the chat, and I'll go try to cover him or something. But so Tom Brady is going like super viral right now for that roast. And before that actually happened, it was interesting because Matt Roth here is saying, is the bottom in on the Tom Brady debut, talking about NFL all day? Is it a good buy now for $48? Man, we're down here for the Tom Brady debut. $50 for the site. Insane. I got to go deal with the bird. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, Armando, what's going on? I had to cover the blind. It's weird. We open up the blind and sees outside, sees another bird, just starts freaking going off. Anywho, talking about NFTs are platypuses. What a descriptive description, I suppose. NFTs are the platypuses of the digital world. Odd, intriguing, and defying categorization. They're carving out a niche that's reshaping our understanding of value and ownership in the digital age. Unlike radio's voices or TV's visuals, NFTs aren't just about content. They're about community, uniqueness, and the collective intellectual property that elevates their worth beyond the sum of their parts. The success of the NFTs hinges on robust networks. It's not just the art, but the shared experience and sense of belonging that amplify their value. Think CryptoPunks, not just images, but symbols of digital community. NFTs challenge traditional media with their hybrid nature. Art meets technology meets community. This fusion is creating a new paradigm for how we value digital assets. So this is the one that I want to highlight of this 4-tweet quick thread here, where he says, the success of NFTs hinges on robust networks, which, okay, sure. But it's not just the art, but the shared experience and sense of belonging that amplify their value. I am trying to go back to the early days of when kind of the world shut down. And I remember almost every single day getting online and playing Warzone with a group of friends. And this was, I think, before I got into Top Shot. I'm trying to remember. It was around the same time-ish. Anywho, there was definitely a sense of like, damn, I don't really know like what to do. I don't really belong into anything. Like, sure, you kind of have your work on the side, but the clubs and all that kind of stuff after you finish high school and college, are gone. So are you going down to the store to play Magic the Gathering if you happen to get into a card game? Are you playing like adult sports leagues? Do you have any friends that are staying in the local area? The extra effort, et cetera, et cetera. And I, at the time, when we found NBA Top Shot, was like, damn, I've just connected with like hundreds of people that I would have never met in my life. Same with like Bored Ape Yacht Club and all that stuff in the early days and doing these streams. And it's like, damn, like if I didn't go out here and try to do these shows, try to go out there, and it's also at the same time, like the people that are tuning in, like I feel like we'd be friends IRL, right? You know what I mean? Like any of us hanging out, like you kind of connect to people that you have out there that share the same opinions out of things, or you don't find like super annoying, which, you know, thanks guys for not finding me annoying, KEKW. But I think that's the biggest thing. And so we see people that are rocking all these different profiles, and for the most part, there's really nothing to do for a large amount of these things. However, it's potentially the first collection people got into, and they're found other friends within that, and they think, hey, this is going to be the next greatest thing. And it's just, I don't know, it's a whole nother realm of inviting people to belong to something and it being digital and just connecting over an image, an interest of something, right? Whether you're into a certain movie, TV show, there's probably different side projects, podcasts, video breakdowns, etc. communities that are out there, but how many of them do you actually engage with? I feel like the NFT communities work on very little, but produce a lot in terms of entertainment for the individuals within their community. So Immutable Passport just hit 800,000 signups according to Soro. Most of these signups are coming from only 2 games. Imagine the number of signups when other games gear up for public release. The future is bright for IMX. I think there is a lot of big happenings that are occurring for some of these major chains. And now the, I guess, argument I would say is we went from Bitcoin to the following year, ETH being the big play, to Solana, to, is it going to be Immutable? Is it going to be... what's the chain? What's the next big thing of this cycle? Will be the question. Yo, Molten Lava, what's going on? The hard part is you have to get both parties right, experience and community. And for the large part, the experience of these Web3 collections don't offer the best right now. It's just everybody hanging out in a Discord. And we're getting there, though. Like I really truly think that for some of these bigger collections, it's happened. But at the same time, we have had other ones that have ended up getting sold or kind of changing of the guard. And it's, you know, some things are moving quite well, other ones not as much. And Armando, you got a dog? Hell yeah. All of my year 1 CryptoKitties #1 fancies are now for sale via Dutch auction, reducing to 0.05 ETH in 7 days. Been holding some of these for 6 years. They're legit NFT collectibles for anyone with an understanding of history of this space. So my question to you would be, do you care about this? Like if I gave you $1,000 right now, just hypothetically, and saying, hey, you can get one of these historical CryptoKitties. I mean, it's probably more than $1,000, right? But with that, would you say, yeah, sure, or maybe, but like there's this coin or this other NFT that I like actually connect with? Are you buying it just for the history play? I feel like the previous cycle, I remember buying curio cards because there was all these people when I was kind of like naive of pushing, hey, these are like historical and it's great. And I'm like, it's a picture of a card. Like, why the hell do I care about this? Why am I spending $1,000 on it? Right. And then if the price goes up, you're like, okay, that's great. But are you actually buying it because of the historical aspect, or do you like it? Is there anything you can do with it? That's the question. Okay, I absolutely hate these. Okay, so when you see listings and somebody tries to make a bullish case on social media about there being few listings, never listen to it. Please, for the love of God, don't ever listen to that. So Alpha's saying, so if anybody gives care, there are 20 sales to 20 ETH, 23 sales to 30 ETH, 16 sales to 40 ETH, and 10 sales to 50 ETH, talking about Bored Ape. Okay. You'd never know how many people could end up listing these. You could have a dump of like 50 plus of these from a whale. I don't ever credit listings. We have X2, Y2, we have Blur, we have OpenSea, we have all these different things where, you know, if you're just looking at one site, sure, there might not be many listings, but again, a price action, something else happens. People want to go for a hot new shiny thing. Never buy something off there's not many listed because there will always be more. Okay, Cool Man's Universe, guys. What the hell's going on with Cool Man's Universe? This is absolutely insane. I I bought some of the Your Special toys originally, and let me tell you, the story to follow has been crazy. So if you've not been caught up to speed, the other week, last week, I think, man, things happen fast. Cool Man's Universe launched a cool token, and what happened was they bought 850 million of the 900 million supply and then tweeted about the token being live. And then they proceeded to dump all the token to get like 2 million profit, like that. And then so they had the spaces and they went on and they mucked it. They should have just done a lengthy post. But basically they said we hired a market maker to help with this and it was a bad actor and they were the ones who walked away with the money. So it's like, okay, so you guys hired the wrong person for that. Okay, that kind of happens. But it's over and done with for the most part. Like if you guys are serious about what happened and they're saying, hey, we're going to integrate this coin, do things after they just said, hey, it's a meme token. Like, okay, dude. They came out and said, we spent the past few days discussing with the community in the Discord. With their help, we've come up with the best path forward. We have completely restructured the team. We will snapshot, relaunch Cool, and airdrop all holders one-to-one coins in the new project. Snapshot time unannounced. After considering all options and discussions with the community, we are confident this is the path forward for a bright future. If the person who was doing the market making before has already sold off all their tokens, and we're doing another token on top of that for an airdrop, like I kind of get it to a point, but it just feels weird. It's mucked up. They're really wanting to go at this. And what if they, I mean, not to throw it out there, but what if they lied and it wasn't the market maker? Because it did seem super weird how the one guy was trying to ask the dev to explain it and then had to correct how he was saying it. And it all came off horribly. Camel here. One thing I despise about Web3 marketing are campaigns that tell me nothing about the product. Oh, your coin is the future? Why? Oh, your PFP project is going to onboard millions? How? Talk is cheap and you can't keep feeding people empty promises. Definitely agree with this. People are way more, I say this, but at the same time, we see some stupid things, but I think people are way more aware and they can kind of suss things that are suspicious out rather quickly. And I mean, to be fair, using Cool Man's as an example, a lot of people are kind of like, why the hell are they doing a token? This seems super weird. And then it ended up being exactly what they thought and like why that went horrifically. Just in, Bitcoin network surpasses 1 billion processed transactions. Nice. Crypto Painter here. A little bit of FUD going on. Dear public, I don't know how to say this, so F it. Here I go. My co-founder, Tak, tried to screw me over and scam us all. He went behind the investors' backs and lied to us. It's a shame that he fits the typical Korean stereotype of being a scam artist. I hate the fact that he tried to use my name to scam people in Korea. I honestly think all the victims should sue his lying ass because all scammers should be in prison. I'm even down to kick in some money for the lawsuit. He goes over this, and basically he's working on kind of like a studio, and he's not doing it for money, but just for making an impact. Got it back, all these things. But the point being here is we saw the Cool Man's thing where they hired somebody, scammer. This guy hired somebody, scammer. There is a lot of problems within the space and why the reputation is what it is, for better or worse. There's also some amazing things that are happening as we try to highlight throughout, but holy mother of God, every day something happens here. Did you see the Ronin Market going wild for Tribesters NFTs? What in the halibut is this? Our magical world of Tribesters is about to come to life. Proud Ronin network partner. Okay, so here's a quick little promo video. I watched this and I don't know what to think, to be totally honest. I was like, this feels kind of like fruity. I don't really know the demographic, but here's the video. Let me know what you guys think.
Mission is of the greatest importance. Find the disturbance and restore balance to the island of Solas.
All right, so what are we thinking? I mean, it's definitely not like AAA quality or anything, but it's definitely got like that Axie type vibe. So again, all these games are going a different angle. Again, I suppose this works for the people that are on like how do I word this? It feels like when you look at it, you're like, okay, that does actually feel like a Axie Infinity type game that would work in the ecosystem for people that kind of like that style. But I feel, the average gamer would be kind of like, that seems kind of slow. Don't really know about it. Yada yada. But that's just my take. I'm curious if you guys got anything different. A dormant address containing 687 Bitcoin, $43 million, has just been activated after 10.3 years. Things are moving. Trader Pops, hello. It's okay in my opinion, not too catchy. Yeah, I agree. Listen, it's all about that first impression. Like, so the tweet that I previously found that on was a guy that we interviewed on the stream, and I really value his opinion. I was like, hey, this guy relatively knows what he's talking about, like very engaged within the ecosystem, and he shared that and was hyped up about it. So I was like, okay, let me look into it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know about that one. But again, it could be super good and going viral. Okay, George Gaiman here. I hope this is true, but I can assure you, based on my experience in Argentina and St. Martin, just because a map says they take it doesn't mean they take it. Total, I've been to about 30 places on the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash maps, and 1 out of the 30 took what it said on the map, hype versus reality. And so this Bitcoin News posted a thing saying, the number of merchants accepting Bitcoin across Costa Rica is skyrocketing. And so it's very interesting to see, like, hey, we see all these headlines all the time, but what is it actually like? Is this something that truly happens? And in this case, George was saying, yeah, that's kind of hype in the buzzwords, if you know what I mean. Armando, AAA is overrated. It's all about the gameplay. True. Also, guys, do any of you play League of Legends? We are almost always needing 1 to 2 players every single night. Listen, if you're in the NA realm, if you play a league, let me know. Breaking, Robinhood receives a Wells notice from the SEC for their Bitcoin and crypto business. All right. So this is like a common trend where the feed and greed index here is at 58, but SEC is sending out notices left, right, and center. We saw kind of a big, what time did this happen? I mean, that post was at 9:07 a.m. Let's just assume that's exactly when it happened. A little bit of a stall off here, but it looks like if that went out at like 6 a.m., there has been a little bit of a downturn, but we'll kind of see. It's awkward seeing these headlines like almost every single day, to be fair. Very, I don't even know if I want to use the term concerning, because it feels like everybody's starting to like brush these things off and being like, oh, it's global. The awareness of the Asian markets being way more accepting of blockchain, Web3, etc. People, all over my timeline. And I have no idea if it's like an X algorithm thing, if I'm like slowly scrolling and reading something and it thinks like, hey, like I want this, because I don't really follow any kind of like global specific news outside of like crypto things. But anyway, every single day it's, Canada's charging like $25,000 to leave the country. Canada's falling apart. The US, here's these things. Here's videos of people that left Canada to go to the US. And if you leave the US, like you're taxed for life off that unless you announce your citizenship. And it just, we talked earlier on when we started XFeed in January of this year of, hey, these countries, like there is a huge opportunity to be like, hey, we're crypto friendly. Everybody's still going off their various dollars. But at the same time, if you listen to some of Raoul Paul's recent talks, he's gone on about how, the dollars for all these countries are in mass problems, the debt accumulation, and further to that, if the adoption of Bitcoin truly happens across all these different countries, the amount of inflow will be insane. Now, is it only going to be Bitcoin? I don't think so. But for somebody that's new looking at the space, they could see that as it can only happen within Bitcoin. All right. open a little bit here, we will bring you regular dev blogs, patch notes, and other updates guiding you through the extensive process of Open's development thus far. We'll also be showing you art concepts and sketches, illustrations, animations, 3D models, and character weapons, environment, and more. So I've always tried with this show to like not talk exclusively about Futureverse, et cetera, et cetera. But I really think that they're cooking out here. And this is what some of the gameplay kind of looks like. And when I mean gameplay, sorry, let me say scene, because we've seen high definitions of styles. And then when you get to the game, it's not that. But still, the environment of this looks pretty sick. They're talking about the metaverse. There's been questions about, hey, if there is a movie that's going on at the same time, is there an opportunity to play in the world itself? Super high quality. Very, very excited to see what they are cooking. Did Illuvium manage to create a truly AAA game? The answer is yes, seriously. In the Web3 space, projects often tout themselves as AAA, but end up we see barely indie level or even worse. I played almost every Web3 game, and I can confidently say Illuvium takes the lead. Just look at the smoothness and travel of the gameplay. Again, we've gone, if you've been here the whole stream, through a couple of different gameplays, from trailers to actual gameplay to just photos. It's all about that first impression. Did any of them make you say, that looks really cool? Because if it did, that's good. And if none of them did, I'm moving back in with my parents. The Web3 MOBA game used to be super hype and anticipated. Since June 2023, they stopped development, no longer active. F in the chat. Again, not wanting to bring up negative news here, but Starfall was, I'm trying to remember. I think I saw this on my timeline, but they said like in Q1 of 2023, things are going to be happening. 20,000 followers, a new MOBA experience brought to you by the creators of Heroes Evolved, Genesis Collection coming to Ethereum soon. Again, their last tweets were back in 2023. Nothing for that. But at the time, again, how many of you would have realized, hey, this isn't actually something that is building anything? Breaking, Judge Torres is scheduled to announce the final ruling on the fine for Ripple in the SEC lawsuit today. Now, this happened about an hour and a half ago, at least that news. Curious to see if this is true, if this is clickbait, or what the price action for Ripple, etc., is going to be once that announcement is made. Because again, markets always react rather quickly. Some ApeCoin news here. AIP's passed, including 3 working budget for proposals. And this is interesting to me because the amount of money ApeCoin Dow gives out is like absurd. But anywho, within these little brackets here, they're saying, and these are different like AIPs or like proposals. So government working group budget of Q2, Q3, Ape as a fuel for mobile growth to help make Dookie Dash a #1 hit game, Metaverse working group budget, Ape swap on Ape chain, marketing and communication working group budget, ApeCoin sponsorship for WebX 2024, .ape launching the real .ape top level domain on the internet. Again, we saw root name services, Ethereum name services. Anytime a new chain comes out, everybody's like, oh, you got to get the whatever name. Very interesting to see how many of these things across the board end up having value. Again, if you are going at these different name services, it's just kind of a quick reminder. People try to go for like 3 digits. So again, if you can get like 111, 222, anything that's like 3 digits, people going for Pokemon names as well. And then major companies, which again, not to encourage squatting on names or anything, but listen, we got to drop that one in there. An ApeCoin Dow at NFC Lisbon, and single seat nominees, a more competitive election pool. An NFT launch pad powered by Ape. Okay, back to launch padding on Ape. Very, very interesting. But again, just looking at the Bitcoin charts here, 63,555 for Ethereum here. It looks as per usual, kind of just tracking Bitcoin here, but it's at $3,087. Past month or so, look at the swings here. At one point, up to 3,700-ish. There's $700 difference from here and then now. And I was listening to Raoul Paul's conversation there. He's like, or maybe it wasn't him, it was somebody else, but they were saying, most people probably don't even realize that like you don't need $3,000 to buy Ethereum. You can get like 0.05 ETH, then it's like $100 or whatever it is, right? And it is pretty funny when for us that's a super normal thing, but for others, it's not necessarily the case. Armando, games based on movies and TV shows has been happening for a long time. Was looking through Super Nintendo catalog recently and a ton of IP that actually made really fun games. I don't know what happened. Open can bring that 100% back. Yo, true. Facts. Very excited to see. And yesterday, when I was scrolling on the X timeline, I saw it was like the Celebi Pokemon movie. It's like one of those accounts that like posts entire like, here, watch Shrek. And you're like, okay, why is this on my timeline? And I watched like the first 2 minutes of it and I was like, damn, this is super nostalgic. The show is incredible. Like, sure, I collected the cards and it was action figures and then there was all these games, Pokemon Goes and everything. It's like, damn, like if you have one thing that's really good, you really can expand and make the world just a crazy place within that IP. But that's it for this edition of XFeed. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Armando, appreciate you joining in the chat today. Trader Pops, Molten Lava, you as well. And of course, Mr. Harry Swan, the nostalgia, the man, the one and only.